Hello everyone! Again, welcome to our AD Kitchen. Hope class that you have exciting moment as you begin to develop more your laboratory skills and knowledge of your food and how to prepare it to, to allow you to produce, of course, class, a tempting and satisfying products. There is much to learn about both the preparations and the evaluation of the foods you have prepared. Be sure, class, to let your head as well as your appetite participate throughout each of your laboratory activities. Class, for today's demonstration, you are likely to find that making sandwiches of various types is one of the most satisfying and relaxing experiences that you will have in preparing food. Again, of course, creativity is very possible when formulating any types of sandwiches. And of course, again, a bit of patience, class, is necessary. Class, preparing hot and cold sandwiches to order is one of the most fundamental required skills in the modern food service. In this demonstration, we start by looking at the fundamentals of sandwich making, the basic ingredients, and the basic sandwich type. We then look at the setup of the sandwich station and again, of course, as always, the method for efficient production. Okay, so then class, let's get started. And again, the completion is your application by making class your own sandwich variation.
Sandwich where you have here all the said needed ingredients to this basic club sandwich. Of course, any bread can do, which like what we had in our topic, which is one is the loaf bread. Okay, so aside from the bread, you will to need your endive, your ham, your cheese, your chips, which it is even more better class that you are to make your own chips. Okay, that it will goes as that it will goes to any sandwich, and then of course. Again, cross your application in your egg cookery where you will to try to cook your scrambled egg. Okay, in addition that you need in your club sandwich, plus of course your toasted bacon. Okay, and your cucumber plus up to make it more that nutritious is your tomatoes. Okay, as fresh. And the way if how is it now you are to try to do, which is again of course the principle that goes with making sandwiches, whether hot or cold, is to always check that you have everything where the bread is always placed at the left side. Okay, accordingly if how is the flow, if what you are to use to knead first and next to that, completing of course that said kind of sandwich. So you will to try to spread all the bread, okay, making maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 batches at the same time. So you have here your mayonnaise, 1, 2, 3. Then the same with the one more sandwich that you are to prepare. And then the said principle is to use your palette knife, or if not the spoon, like what I am using now, up, then across and then down, and then again you bring it back. Okay, coating of course the whole bread with your said mayonnaise, not necessarily that it will to up to reaching the other more side. Okay, so that's how simple is it. Please see to it that you try talaga to again be uniform, be even to what you are to place, okay, as completing the ingredients. So next to this class is your endive. Not forgetting first again the sanitation where you will to make use of your hand guard. So next to your endive is your ham. Okay, ham. Then of course class, next to your ham will be your bacon. Okay. And your tomatoes. And class your cucumber. Okay. And in your other more piece of bread is where you are to need your cheese. the same, even up to maybe 2, 3, 4, of how now you will to like to work with it. And then of course, your scrambled eggs. Of course, class as neatly as you can if how you are to place each of the component. Okay, so that's it, class. And how you are to try to complete now all in all is as simply as this. So one quick cover, and then you bring it on the top. There. And if you want, if you prefer, you can cut the edges of your bread. You trim, I mean, the edges. If that is the standard, of course, that you need to follow, which is to remove the edges. Especially if it depends with the said kind of bread that you make use of. If why that you will better to remove the edges. Okay, so you have your toothpick and your jerkins. One. You will just simply to form across jerkins, toothpick. Okay. And then anyway, class, this will be what will serve as your guide to how you will to like to cut it. Sorry. Where we need the following ingredients. Of course, again, your bread. And you have here your milk. Any milk can do, fresh milk or evap milk. Plus, of course, your 2 pieces of egg, your sugar, and then I already have here a pinch of salt, class. Sugar and pinch of salt. Okay, your Nestle cream. And plus, what to flavor it is, of course, your cinnamon powder and your cumin. Okay. Okay, you need to mix it, incorporate it evenly up to seeing to it that the said Nestle cream or the said cream will to up to it will become very fine and smooth. Then of course, you are ready with your pan, your butter. Because after soaking, you are now to toast it with your heated pan. Okay. So, plus enough. So, here's your bread with a very clean hand. You are now to try to soak it. Holding it this way. But not too much because, of course, it will happen to break. But it will not to soak for too much because of course it will happen to tear, even up to how you are to try to hold it and to transfer if you are to toast the bread. Okay. Medium heat. Turn it over, class. That must be how it looks like. Here, class. We are now to be placing it in the oven to finish, of course, the cooking class of our French toast. Okay. Which is like for only about 8 minutes. Class, after 8 minutes, this is now our French toast, our finished French toast. Okay. Grilled sandwich, which you just only simply need your cheese and then just only your butter, which is again, you know the technique, how you are to try to spread butter to your bread. Softened butter, of course. 1, 2, 3. Both side or both of the bread. Okay, your pair of bread with butter and cheese. And here's your pan class. You heat your pan, your grilled pan I mean. And then you put of course a small amount of butter. And if once it is heated, you will now just to place the bread. Okay, but not just only that, you need to also to even to press it until it will become too thinly, as thinly, na it will even already happen to look as one pair of bread. Okay? So if that is how thick is it, you need to press. Okay. Then again, after like 5 minutes, you will to turn over. You see it of course class that since you make use of the grill, now you will to have your said grill mark. Okay? So you keep pressing. So we need breadcrumbs, of course your bread, your cheese, which is even for you to add ham and why not? And of course our beaten eggs, okay? So here we can do class of course the 2 version of your Monte Cristo, and of course class we have here in the burner our pan with oil and deep frying of course class where the item is to be submerged, right? Okay, so ham, your bread, your cheese, ham, okay, then even up to adding it with chicken breast. Okay, so you try to flatten your bread with that said 2 component, then you simply try to roll it. Okay, then get a toothpick, that will be what to hold it. If you will now to try to dip it into your beaten egg white. So your left hand is for your wet ingredients, and then of course if you are now to coat this with your breadcrumbs, if were your right hand, okay, to work with your dry. And the oil is anyway ready for us to directly place this for deep frying. And how will you check if your oil is ready? Place a small amount of breadcrumbs, and then of course it drizzle, and that's it. If what will be for your right hand and for your left hand, which are the wet and the dry. Okay, coat it with breadcrumbs, then again directly place it before you are to deep fry the bread. You know the consistency of a sauce. It must not be too flowy. It must not be too thick. Your ibak milk, and then even after the cheese, and of course the said effect of heat is to evaporate, diba? The said liquid, which is the ibak milk, but you need to keep on stirring. So here class, we'll just set it aside because of course we cannot use to top our poach egg in a pan while still the sauce is hot. So last of our all sandwiches will be of course class our poach egg in a pan, where you have again the application of your egg cookery. So you have your bun, whether as well as good for you to toast it first, which again your base, okay, your base, and then your bacon. It's like 2 pieces of sliced bacon. Then again, the one more bread. Then please again, one more bacon. Okay? No need to, of course, to trim the end dip as well na it will be how is it as that natural na it falls at the edges or at the side. And then placing of course your poached egg, which you need to of course to also to even trim it. And then cause as simply na you are to better place it in one of your plate. And you put the sauce. And of course, close the cover. Okay? Then again, as well as good if you are to place, maybe adding it with some more fruits.